So this is my assignment 1, ethical scenarios. I picked, for the first one, I picked scenario number 1, which was where the principal wants the counselor to talk to 5 kids about being obese, and he wants her to talk to them about healthy eating habits and exercising and stuff like that. So the principal tells the counselor that he has 5 kids that he would like for her to talk to, and that she does not need to get parent consent because the handbook that they all signed or something basically gives permission to pull kids and talk to them about whatever. So that one violates the informed consent, because anytime that you are going to give any sort of therapy or counseling sessions or devise some kind of treatment plan for minors, you have to get their parents' consent, and a signature in a handbook that's just broad consent, that doesn't count. You have to actually get specific consent from the parents that you're going to treat them in the counseling sessions. So I would say that this counselor would need to talk to the principal and tell the principal, respectfully, like, I understand what you're saying, but in counseling, our code of ethics says that we have to inform the parents and get consent in order to do any sort of treatment or counseling sessions on their child. So just tell him that, this is our code of ethics, and this is, what I'm going to do. I'll call the parents and I'll get consent, let them know what's going to happen, and then that she would be happy to treat them or talk to them or whatever. The second one I picked was number 4. That's the one where the teacher wanted a consultation because she said that she thought one of the kids in her class was exhibiting some psychotic behavior, and she wanted the counselor to come and observe. And so after the counselor observed, she or he agreed that there was some sort of problem, some sort of psychotic behavior, and that the student needed to be referred to like a psychiatrist or maybe even an inpatient center. And the special ed teacher was telling the counselor, you better not call the parents, don't call the parents, because I've already talked to the parents and I assured them nothing was wrong with their kid. So if you call the parents now, it's going to make me look bad. So this one would be client welfare. It's hard, I would think, to not want to upset a coworker, because you have to work with those people daily. But at the same time, it's our job to do what is in the best interest of the client, or the student in this case. And so the best interest for the student would be to get him the help that he needs. And so even though the special ed teacher, said, don't do it, you'll get me in trouble, basically, the best interest of the child would be for you to tell the parents that their child might need to further evaluations. I would say talk to the teacher first, the special ed teacher, and tell her or him, look, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry. That's the last thing I want. I don't want you to get in trouble or for you to look bad. That's not my goal, but my goal as the counselor is to do what's in the best interest of the child, and that would be getting him some help. So I'm going to have to, tell the parents, that he needs further evaluations. And then, if she gets mad or whatever, you might have to even tell the principal before you call the parents. Just get the principal aware, because I know my principal, she's not going to get mad, but about most of anything, as long as she's in the loop. She doesn't like to be have a parent call and get mad and yell, and she's like, well, I don't know what's going on. So as long as she's in the loop, then I would think that's good. So I would even tell the principal, hey, look, this is what's going on. I'm going to call the parents and let them know this is my observations. And they might call up here. They might get upset about, why the special ed teacher told them otherwise. But I just want to keep you informed of the situation, and then call the parents. But I think if you talk to the teacher first and tell her, what that you're not trying to be malicious, that this is really in the best interest of the child, that I would hope that as a professional, she wouldn't be angry or get mad at you because, isn't that what we're all trying to do in education, is what's in the best interest of the child? So hopefully she would understand, but ultimately, whether she gets mad at you or not is not really the issue. The issue is the kid, and to do what's best for them. And then I picked number 8, which was where the child came to seek counseling for sexual orientation, and they are worried about getting counseling from you because they don't want you to tell their parents about them struggling with their sexual orientation. So this one I think falls in with confidentiality. Yes, I think it's kind of confidentiality, I guess, and informed consent, because yes, you do have to call the parents, but you also don't have to tell them everything. So I would say that you would need to tell the child or the adolescent, when they came in, look, I want to help you, I want to talk to you, I want to counsel you, but you're a minor, and I am going to have to talk to your parents. I'm going to have to get consent to treat you from your parents, but I don't have to tell them why. I don't have to tell them the details of what you're telling me. I just have to get their consent to treat you. So I think it's important to make sure the child knows that you're not going to go call their parents and say, hey, guess what? Your child thinks they might be struggling with their sexuality, and so just to lay it all out for them and say, I want to help you. I'd be happy to help you. I am going to have to call your parents to get consent to treat you. But I won't tell them the details of our conversations unless you tell me that you have the intent to harm yourself or others. So it's important to make sure that the kids know that the plan, the outline. What are you going to do? I'm going to call your parents. This is what I'll tell them. This is what I won't tell them. This is what I can't tell them, and that's what you would do. And then hopefully the parents would understand and give you the consent, and then try to talk to their kids about the problems at home, so that burden is not put on you. So those are the ethical scenarios that I chose.